Get started at 6 o'clock. This is the regular scheduled meeting, 4/10/2023. We'll start off with, welcome everyone, and we'll start off with prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to serve you. We thank you, Lord, for the day that you blessed us with yesterday, for the price that you paid so that we could have and be forgiven for our sins. Lord, I ask that you be with us as we make decisions concerning the county, also in our own individual lives. Once again, thank you for all that you do for us. Amen. Say pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we got the approval of the agenda first. We got two addition financing of the John Deere tractor, and then discussing the $12,000 offer on the Dodge truck. Do I have any other additions to it? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of minutes. Anyone see anything or any questions? If not, we'll ask for a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approval of financial reports. Any questions? Any comments? If not, we'll ask for a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Appearances, none. Old business, fueling center report, pages 19, 20. Anything we need to know about, Doug?
It's going smooth. They're still waiting on the hospital to get back to us. They, I don't know what, they're taking their time about adding their people, but they're ready to go. After that, I'm gonna, once we get them on, I'll talk to the school board. But other than that, it's doing good.
Thank you for that report. Senior building construction, how's everything going with it?
So it's all, the inside's all complete. Refrigerator, stove, everything's over there. Buildings and grounds as an inventory list of what needs to go back in. Looks like there may be some stuff that we have to replace. Me and Mr. Allen talked about just replacing. I'll let you guys know what we got. The outside, the only thing is we still got to remove that building in the back and then move their building over. I haven't heard anything on they were doing creating the organization for them, and I haven't heard anything else. I'll reach out to them tomorrow to see where that's at. But other than that, we're pretty much ready to go, other than getting a contract for them to lease the building.
Anybody got any comments, questions? All right, thank you for that report. USDA grants.
So the only thing I got on that is all the paperwork's been submitted. That I did get a call from Ford today that the truck is up there. One of the trucks is up there at the Ford place, and I just told him that we would pick all three of them up at the same time so we can do like financing all together. That will be about June the 1st when all the rest of them will be in. So that was a pretty quick turnaround on a build time. And we'll discuss financing when the other trucks come in.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and put the John Deere tractor financing next.
All right, so what I found out, me and Mr. Allen talked about this, to be able to get the price to where it needed to be, they went with a government contract, which kind of limited us what we can do. John Deere does not finance government contracts. So even though we got a few, got a little bit cheaper, now we got to go out and try to find financing. We haven't been able to reach out to the three different banks that's quoted it. I kind of mentioned it to Tristan. He come over today to drop off some papers and just let him know that we're going to be reaching out. So What they're gonna do is 30 to 45 days, they're gonna send us a bill for that tractor. And then we're gonna have to basically cut them a check. So at this next meeting or before that, I'll submit you guys the 3 banks that's willing to finance it.
So I
So,
spoke with them again today and they said that just any time they should get notifications saying, everything's good, we can get the tractor. And then according to Brandon, they said they would submit us a bill, John Deere will, within 30 to 45 days.
so what we probably need to do is just make sure that we discuss with them not to put it under government contract. Cause if not, if y'all wanna finance through John Deere, that's gonna be out the door.
Yeah, but I asked what kind of money did we save by doing it the way this was done versus the way the first tractor was done. They said anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. Okay, so do we need a motion to go ahead and seek approval for the financing?
If you
or
want to, that way I can go ahead and start working on it.
we need a motion for them to go ahead and seek approval. We need approval for them to go ahead and seek financing through the banks. We have a motion,
I'll make a motion.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, the next one is we submitted a $10,000 bid on a Dodge truck. All bids were rejected. They said that they would take $12,000 for the truck. So, what y'all wanna do with that? I personally think the truck is well worth it because you got a back bid on it that would cost $5,000-6,000.
What year is it?
2000 and
13, I think.
10.
11, I
10.
believe it
It's
is.
a 2010.
Hang on, I
yeah,
got
looked at it.
66,000 miles on it. It's a 3/4 ton truck.
It's
The truck,
2010, yeah.
2,500 Dodge.
yeah, the truck looks
Two-wheel
extremely
drive.
good. So do y'all wanna go ahead and put the extra 2 in it to get it, or?
What will they do, being that they didn't have the right bill? Will they re-advertise it, or?
So I mean, that's
That's
what,
not what-
is that gonna get the deal done right there?
Yes.
I mean, it's ours if we offer
That's
them.
what they said.
Yeah. Being they've already advertised it, my understanding, and they rejected all bids, they went with like 2 bids submitted, and we were definitely the high one. And so now they've come back and said what they would take for it. So if y'all wanna proceed forward, we need a motion to do it, or whatever y'all want to do with it.
Have you looked at the truck, Mr. Andy?
I looked at it, I mean,
You
I've
drove
seen it since the day it was new.
You drove it in it?
It's all right, I mean, it ain't hurt. I mean, it just been in town. I mean, it ain't been nowhere. I've been around it since it was new, seeing it pretty much every day. And it don't look, runs good, drives good. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it.
The whole thing that I seen, and I nitpicked it real hard, was there's a little bit of a wear on the seat on the driver's side when you get in, but other than
Yeah,
that,
I mean, it's not been up, it's just got a little age on it, but it ain't got but 20 more thousand miles than my truck's got on it. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with the truck. It'd make a good little shop truck for us. We'd have something to put some tools in. Me and Jeff was talking about it the other day, I mean, we go out to work on something, like Mac just has to grab up some tools and go in whatever's sitting there. Be a good little shop truck, and that's up to y'all.
Have you got any trucks you're gonna get rid of if you get this?
We got, we get these others, we gonna have some that we gonna salvage, and me and Jeff talked about that was, we take some of these we got now, salvage them, you get some of that money back right there. I mean, you won't get the new money back, but
but you got two of them right now down our side of the fence.
Yeah, yeah.
They're being
but we got
put down.
probably 2 that we can put up, that's actually running, that we'll be able to get rid of later on. We replace them. I mean, we won't need them.
So we've got 2 running and 2 that doesn't.
Yeah,
Surplus.
there'll be 2 of them that we pretty much can get rid of, and then we got 2 that's not running that we got up. They may be on salvage list.
Shelley never finished the list. She told me there.
That's all we got, is them 2.
Alright.
I mean, we really don't have nothing
We
else.
probably need to have that list at the next meeting, probably.
Yeah, but when you get those 3 trucks, you're not gonna replace the 3 new ones, it's not gonna replace any other trucks? Or
Yeah, well, they will, yeah, when we get them, we'll
just get
have,
them, get them.
we'll have the good old 86 and
Yeah.
a couple more. I mean, we'll have 2 or 3 at least that are actually running.
So we may
You
get
know, at
at
that
the next
time.
meeting, that list.
But the ones on the fence row, we can go ahead and move them, I mean.
Yeah, I thought we had sent that up, yeah.
Well, she sent me one, but then she said that the weeds were high, that she would go out there, and I never got another
Okay.
message.
But we got 2 sitting out there now.
Yeah,
You know
2
that-
Chevrolets.
Yeah, both of them Chevrolets. But we'll have 2 Fords, I know. You know, both
So
of
which
them-
truck is this gonna take the place of?
With nothing. I mean,
Nothing.
we don't have that one. Well, it actually taken place of one we junked a long time ago. It went in the scrap iron bin. We loaded, the scrap iron man bought it, we loaded it on a semi. It was actually an old ambulance and we never replaced them. We lost like
He's
4 or
lost.
5 trucks that we hadn't replaced, you know, most of them was 350s that, our service trucks, the ones we went out and worked on stuff. You know, as they died, we didn't buy nothing to replace it.
So how many trucks you got total now, right now?
I don't know, right off my head, top of my head, I don't label.
Running,
I'm talking about that y'all use every day. I mean, you got 7 employees, you got 7 trucks,
We got 3, 4, 5, and we got probably 6.
so this one will be 7,
That one would be 7.
so you got enough for everybody to drive a vehicle every day?
Yeah, well, we got the limb cutter goes out and the mowing guys go out, you know, that's 2 of them. Then if you got, like today, we had one at the landfill, you know, pushing up dirt, so he went on a truck. Pretty much, the service truck, it sits there with tractor
I
behind
guess
it.
where I was going with that was, you ain't gonna need no more trucks.
No.
I guess that's where I was headed with that. Alright,
This would be assigned to the mechanic.
this would be,
Well, I wanna just put it at the shop, you know, get some tools to go in it where you broke down out there side the road, you can just get in and go out there and work on stuff instead of trying to gather up what you think you might need. I mean, sometimes you get what you need, sometimes you don't. I got a few in my truck, but usually like today, I was out working on, you know, I was out there working, something mine breaks down, I got a little something, I can kinda work with it, but
how much is it gonna cost to put tools in that truck like you wanna do?
I don't know. Layden, I mean, tools ain't cheap,
I know.
but we lost every tool we
You gonna put an
had.
air compressor on it?
We can. you
Oh,
know.
I,
A lot of that
That's
comes
$2,500.
lot of that comes in
there.
time, you know, if you get a chance, like, you sell a little scrap iron, you get a little
I would
money.
just say you could put $5,000-6,000 in tools in the
That's
backyard
right.
and.
Well, we
I didn't know
lost
you got that.
$40,000 worth of tools, and so far we bought 5,000 back, so,
Where
I
we lose,
mean,
where we lose $40,000?
they stole every tool that was in the shop.
Oh,
well, they stole that service truck down there.
They stole everything that was in, they
Well,
took everything but a big toolbox in the concrete.
when did they do that?
It's been several years back.
Several years.
I mean, we lost all our big tools, all our specialty tools, everything, and we went and bought $5,000 tools at Harbor Freight to replace it. But between what I got, you know, if we need something I got, I'll go get it, we work on something, we've made it. But there's a lot of things we hadn't replaced, like, they took the truck with tools on it, took all the tools off the truck too. But we hadn't bought it back.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of
Well, I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know.
it's kind of an ongoing
It
process.
was like one of the first years I was on.
I mean, all the jacks, I mean, all our jacks, transmission jack, welder, everything, I mean, they took everything.
I didn't know it hadn't
Had
been
been replaced,
replaced.
right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, we made one trip to Harbor Freight and, you know, kinda, you know, got us, I mean, but what we got is cheap stuff, you know, it's just cheap stuff getting us by. We working on big stuff and
Oh,
we
no,
getting by.
I'm just saying that you talking about buying the truck for 12, then you talking about buying tools, and so, I mean, that could turn into
Well, that'll be,
$5,000
that'll
more.
have to be something comes later, you know, you get a little money, you add to it, you know, you start with one thing and
That's why I ask questions. I just ask questions.
all right, if y'all just give me $50,000, I'll get the truck and we'll go get everything
I
on
don't
it,
think you're
but
gonna get $50,000.
we don't have
I don't think.
I understand we don't have the money, I mean, that's just an ongoing,
Right.
it'll be a work in progress.
I got you.
No, we hadn't stopped shop back, I mean, but we getting by, we doing all right. you know, we get a little extra money, we sell some scrap iron money, something come along,
Do y'all wanna do the truck?
we'll get a little more.
That's whatever y'all think.
Where's so he don't have a truck, period, he's working out of Mac.
No, Matt don't drive, I mean, we don't have anything, whatever may be sitting there, if somebody's not driving something, you know, you just walk out there and get in it, but you know, when you're trying to go out and work on something side the road, you kinda need to go out there and,
Yeah.
you know, have what you need, or you gonna make a trip back to town, and you.
So the three trucks that the three new trucks that we're getting, is this truck better than the three that those will be replacing?
Oh, yeah, that truck's a lot better than what we drive.
Okay.
I mean, we driving, some of the trucks we driving, ain't even no dashboard left in them, they done rotted out, and fell in the floorboard, I mean, but y'all welcome to go down there and look at what we're driving. I mean, it's not,
Well, it's not that I don't want you guys to have it. It's just, I know there's a lot we're spending right now on the road department. And that granted needed, but I'm also concerned about future with T-Splost and all that too. So that's where my concern and my hesitation is. It is not at all that I don't want to get you guys what you need. It's just, we're putting out a lot of money right
oh,
now
I understand.
for that. And so
I
that's just my
understand.
only concern.
I mean, it just come along, you know, I mean, we just seen it in the paper, you know what I mean, and for what it is, I think it's a good buy myself, I mean,
Yeah, Andy and them they've had to work with a lot of junk. They really have, you know, this stuff we're working on something.
we got
2
service
or
truck
3
that
days.
sits there with the tractor hook to it all the time now, if we out working with the backhoe, you know, we got it with us, but it don't just run back and forth to jobs every day, cause it's sitting there, you may be out there doing what I was doing today, and we get a call, we just immediately go and walk up to it, get in it, go take care of trees or whatever, it kinda stays ready to go for the night, the day, so it's kinda got a purpose. And then the other trucks we drive, we got two good ones, we got the one I drive, we got a Nudden, and then the rest of them's retired sheriff trucks, that's what they are. They just F-150s that somebody else didn't wanna drive no more.
Most
And we
of the
take
time,
them
I
and
drive
try
that
to
wheel
get them
suit
running.
down there.
That's what we
Black
drive.
wheel suit.
He does what?
And they
Drive
make,
that wheel suit down there, black one. There's one that Scott works to give us from the sheriff's department over there.
I mean, we got some that the oil pressure gauge don't work in, the temperature hand don't work in it, I mean, we driving what was handed down to us that we can drive, that's what we drive.
I mean, I'm in favor if we need the truck to get it, but also the surplus need to be surplus to help pay for, maybe offset some of this
Well,
I agree with
impacts.
that.
Well, I'm gonna say, if we buy this one, then he gonna get three more. Sound like he got three trucks that need to be surplus plus the two on the fence.
Now, we can't,
Now you talking about right now, and
no,
I'm
no,
not,
no, no, I'm talking about that, he can offset it as far as putting money back in general fund.
Right.
If he buys this out of T-Splosh, we can't deposit anything back in T-Splosh.
Once it's gone.
We did, we got, you know, Perry let us do it when we got the big grants, we put it in and took it right back out, but as far as using T-Splosh and then replenishing it ourselves, we can't do that. Now, we could put it back in general fund to use for other stuff when you surplus it.
So how was we looking at buying it if we didn't buy it?
You'd have to buy it out of T-Splosh, cause I mean, the road department, general fund, money out of the road department don't have the money to buy it. And there's money in Splosh and T-Splosh, but our operating money, there's no money in it to buy it out of. It just kinda come along and, you know, I mean, it just make a good,
Yeah, I understand.
it'd make a real good truck to be, you know, to have for the shop truck.
But like I say, if he sells that or surplus stuff, he can recoup some of the money. Now, would that money go back into the general fund, you say?
Yes, sir. We couldn't put it back in T-Splosh, we could put it back in general fund.
For the surplus money.
Right. The only thing that's really supposed to go in Splosh and T-Splosh is the money from the government that they put in there, you know, from the sales tax.
You know, I tell
So
you,
Layton's correct on what he was saying about far as the trucks that we have to sell.
What was that?
The lady's correct then on the trucks that he was saying that we're gonna have to sell for surplus.
Yeah,
then plus-
we're gonna have some, you know, once we get these, like the old mowing truck, you know, we're gonna retire. We're gonna retire it, you know, cause we're gonna put one of these new ones, you know,
Right,
to
yeah,
it, and
right.
then the limb
Sounds like
cut
we're gonna have
truck.
5 trucks, 3 running and 2 non-running trucks.
To sell.
Pretty much, yeah.
Could you get me a list so I can email them tomorrow and let them know?
I mean, they might be one of them, you know, might wanna keep one of them, I mean, you know, but if you wanna sell it, we can sell it either one. One of them old trucks is fairly decent, but, I mean, if y'all wanna surplus it, we'll surplus it. But the rest of them, that's the reason we're replacing them, cause they done got where we don't need to be driving. You know, we need to get rid of them.
What kind of time frame did the housing authority say that they needed an answer by?
Well,
Whoever talked to them?
I don't
Doug,
know.
have you talked to him at all?
No.
Okay.
They didn't, nobody tell me nothing about no time frame, you know, they just said what they would take.
I can reach out tomorrow.
You wanna reach out to them and tell them, will they give us a week to,
I'll reach out, whatever y'all want me to do.
and then they'll say yes or no? You okay with that?
So what do y'all wanna do then?
Yeah, if Mr. Andy's good with buying a truck and he's saying it's worth it, I mean, I'm good with that, but I definitely want those surplus sold to
Right.
absorb
Right.
some of this.
I mean, is there other stuff that can be surplus too besides truck? I mean, do you have any?
well, we're gonna have a dump
Tractors and-
truck, if we buy another, you know, we'll have a dump truck, it'll be surplus, cause we, you know, need to get rid of it. And
It's gonna go to it though.
about 3 pickups, you know, I mean.
Mhm.
Well, dump truck, we about gonna surplus anyway, cause we're gonna have to pull it off the road. I mean.
Yeah, he's running some vehicle down
We,
there that's
we
extremely
getting by
dangerous.
with it, but its days is running up and down the road, getting real numbered with, you know, with me.
So far as trucks though, the ones that we got coming, and if we decide to purchase this one, we good on trucks, no more purchases of trucks, pretty much.
I don't need no more pickups. I mean, the ones we got, just give out on us. I mean, I
We got it in
really,
minutes.
I really didn't, you know, I mean, far as the 3 we was getting, I was expecting them to replace the ones that we going out,
Yeah,
that the
right.
guys is going out on every day. This one just come along that would make us a good truck to be at the shop, to where when we get a call, the guy can get in it and have tools in it and go out and see about whoever's broke down, you know, I mean, it's just it'd be a lot better than trying to just grab up tools and getting in something that's sitting there. And
You were talking about putting your winch on it too, wouldn't you?
yeah, well, we can put the lift on it where when we got to go change motor grader tires, you know, we got a lift that we pick up tires with, but it's not on anything. It was on one of the other trucks that we junked. And, you know,
How
we had
about,
bought another.
how about you write down what truck you drive, Mac drives, Rico drives, everybody drives at some point, if they drive that truck. And then let us know what kind of truck it is, year model, and us kinda look at that, and then the ones that you're gonna get rid of out of that bunch. You see what I'm saying? And he can send that to us tomorrow. And I say we go ahead and okay the truck, and then we'll make that decision on.
So the 12,000 was the minimum bid, is what
They ain't gonna come back, my fear was they gonna come back and say, well,
Mhm.
we'll do 14.
No, they said,
Nah,
Mine too.
that's what they said they would.
Yeah.
would
to
do.
be honest, I didn't go that high to start with, but anyway, I
Well,
mean.
it's worth that, I looked it up, I mean, it's worth that with that bed and all
It's,
on it.
it's worth it,
Yeah.
the truck's worth the money, I mean,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
doubt the
it's
truck's
worth
worth
the
the money.
12, we might as well
It's
make
got
a
new tires
motion
on it.
to buy
Yeah, I mean, it's worth that, I looked it up.
I'll make a motion to purchase it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, and it's to be paid out of T-Splosh, correct?
So I'll send an email tomorrow, or actually a letter with a written PO saying this is what we're gonna pay, we won't pay anymore.
Correct.
But I do need to, you know, me and Jeff had asked a question about starting to put stickers on these trucks, cause
Mhm.
everything needs to be marked.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and order the new stickers, if that's what y'all want for these
Yes.
trucks, and start stickering them.
Yes,
Is that what y'all want?
yes.
I got some, and most of ours do, you know, we do put them on, but now there's a couple we don't want stickers on.
Why is
If
that?
it's a government
When you
vehicle, I think it needs to
pulling
be
them up
stickered.
down the road, you put that sticker on it, it changes what it can do and what it can't do. You ain't used to that, you can drive whatever you want, haul whatever you want, but
Are you
saying
saying,
the
are you saying the DOT don't look at me and stop me?
yeah, y'all don't have to have
You ain't
y'all ain't got
correct on
as
that.
many regulations on y'all as we do.
You talking about junk trucks, Greg?
No, not dump trucks,
He talking about that gooseneck and pulling that.
when, you
that
know, it
thing
depends
around.
on how you running it, what you can hook behind it and what you can't. But now, I don't care about having
Did he just
stickers
on
on.
camera say that he was doing something illegal? Let's move on.
All right, new business, Austin Lambert, computer security.
All right, I'm gonna try and be pretty quick here. I just wanna real quick talk to you guys about some, network security. I've seen some things over the past month. We've been getting a few emails here and there from people who, you know, they'll call me and they'll be like, hey, Austin, is this a real person? It'll say Josh Suggs, you know, it may say Whitney, our 911 director, and they'll be wanting them to either download a file, send them some bank account information, something like that. And it looks real. If you're just, you know, looking at it, it looks real. It looks like, oh, this is that person. And some other things that I've seen here and there that kind of, you know, trip the red flag. So I've gave you guys 3 quotes. This is managed network security. So this is security that somebody will be monitoring 24/7 on these computers. There will be a live person that is watching those. And if somebody clicks something they're not supposed to, if they try and send something out they're not supposed to, it'll catch that. It'll stop them from doing it, and it will allow, they'll call me and they'll tell me basically what's happening. They'll stop the threat before it happens, and they will mitigate it, and we'll be able to maintain some security and make sure that nothing gets into the wrong hands. I think this is important. Miller County is really starting to get on the map in terms of the internet. You know, we got our Facebook page now. We got our website that's being advertised more. These people are seeing those names on that website. These foreign entities, they see those names. They'll make email accounts using those names, and they'll try to, you know, get people to click things and do things that they shouldn't be doing. But if you're, you know, if you don't really know computers well, you know, you'll fall for it, and we'll be in a world of hurt.
Now, will this be countywide or just a county commission?
It'll be countywide. It'll be for any computer that's on the county network. They will be secured. They will be monitored. This is 24-hour, like I said, monitoring. The reason I opted for just 24-hour monitoring by a live person is because we're pretty much a 24-hour entity. But 911 was my main concern, then the sheriff's department, things like that, you know, the courthouse. There's some very sensitive documents there that could cost us a lot of money in lawsuits.
A lot of our social security numbers are in my computer.
A lot of stuff that could cost us a lot of money in litigations and lawsuits if it were to get out. And that's, you know, with us being a government, I just feel like this is the best way to go. And I'll go ahead and be honest with you, I am not a security expert by any means. I know the basic stuff, but you know, these people are paid to do this. They know what they're doing. I've given you the 3 quotes. One's from Malwarebytes, one's from a company called Bitdefender, and one is from a company called Intradev. They use the Sentinel-1 is their name of their security system thing. But I personally really like the Malwarebytes one. It's right there in the middle. It's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive either. It's right there kind of almost perfectly in the middle. It gives me everything I'll need to secure this network. It'll cover every single computer we have, plus a few servers that we have sitting out there. That is for, like I said, 24-hour monitoring. It also gives us a 72-hour rollback. So if something happens to a computer, if it gets infected, if by chance it does, because I mean, you know, even with the best security, you're still gonna, you know, you still have that threat. they'll be able to roll it back 72 hours. So a good example of that would be the pipeline that got hit by the ransomware attack. You know, it shut down that pipeline and gas prices went, you know, way up. And they ended up having to pay the people. We wouldn't have to do that. If I got hit by something like that, we have 72 hours. They can revert that, and it'll be like it never happened, is what they assure me of. So I really think that the Malwarebytes is the way we need to go personally. If we do opt to do this, just the way things are going, I feel we do need to up our, you know, our security a little bit more around that, you know. We got a locked door, but it's a flimsy wooden door right now, and I want to put some iron bars around it.
Will this come out of commissioner's budget, or will it be deducted from every department budget, or how will this work?
Well, you're talking about getting it in the new fiscal year.
Yeah, this would be something
So we would just probably, if, when y'all do the budget, what I think would be easier is just to put a security line item in the IT budget and pay it from there.
Just up my budget, be that way. At one time, they did have something like this, but it was optional. It was done through the department, it was optional, and, you know, half the people were like, well, I don't need that, I'm not spending my money on that. My thing is, I don't want it to be optional, so if it's gotta come out of my budget, if I've gotta up my budget.
We'll just add that, either
that's
way,
what I
whether
gotta
we
do.
added under 20 departments or his, it's the same amount.
But you're talking about not having it till the next fiscal year, is that what you're talking about? What
July
happens if we
They're
get hacked
gonna give
between
him,
now
they're
and
gonna
then?
give him they're gonna give you like a thing to get you to July or something? Did I hear you talking?
He was talking about a trial, he was just
Okay.
letting me try it out, no, that's not for,
But
no.
could you, if they approved it, could you get him to kinda let him give you something, you know? what
I can talk to the company and see what he can
Or put
offer
off
us.
the
I mean, if
payment
he,
to
I can assure him, you know, that we went with him and we're going with him and he'll work with me, I'm sure. So,
Yeah, we could do that.
but yeah.
Just let me talk to him.
Any discussion?
I think it's a great idea by all means, you know, to help security.
It is, the price is up there. I didn't realize that security stuff like that was that high when I started quoting these, but I mean, it's well worth it. I mean, for what we are, I mean, if we were just a regular business, I'd be like, you know.
Let me show y'all what he's talking about. This is what I got this morning, supposedly from the judge,
And I've gotten 2 or 3 of those on my.
telling me to change his, deposit and put into a whole different bank account. See? And if you go back and you check the email addresses, it's nowhere near his
I got
email.
one that said it was from Miss Christine asking for some,
Yeah.
reports.
See?
And what they do is
And I
that.
called her, of course, and it wasn't her, I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, and you won't necessarily stop those emails from coming, but what you will do is stop them from being able to get anything out of these people.
Right.
So
That's
Andy
the
got
main
hit
thing
with that
I'm
too.
Yeah.
worried
So
about.
this price is
Well, I've got
per
2
view.
from Andy.
Yeah, Andy's
This
already
price,
been hit
this
with
price
it.
is locked in from the, is that what you were asking?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the price that they told me that they're gonna work with me on.
Wow, which one are you recommending now?
I'm recommending the Malwarebytes personally. That's, like I said, that one's right in the middle. The rest of them, you know, they all do pretty much the same thing, but the Malwarebytes just offered a few things that I really liked. I really liked how they did their setup. I've used it personally on my computer, not this, you know, big package, but the, you know, private one. And I really like it.
Good. Well, I recommend, my recommendation would go with this and get something in place. The quicker the better. Oh, excuse me just a second. T-ball emergency. Okay, do we have a motion to go ahead and proceed forward with this and get it in place?
I'll make a motion.
We have a second?
I see.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
All right, next on the agenda, surplus vehicle list, sheriff's office.
So basically what you've got the list that me and the sheriff went through. The ones up top are the ones that he's using, but the ones that says junk at the bottom is what we're gonna surplus. That's the van, the buses, and, the Tahoe, we kept out the Tahoe, that's the one we're putting in for the cleaning vehicle. But all the other ones he would like to surplus.
Okay, you got the buses listed on here?
I don't see the buses. We never get the buses. But he wants the buses added, so I can get that added.
Okay.
And if y'all want to, we get up that other serial number and we'll give it to Doug for them two that we got set inside the fence.
Just run them all at one time.
Yeah.
Well, then what about the other ones you're gonna replace though? You gonna get
Well,
them
we
too?
don't need to salvage them yet, cause we still
Just
driving
get
them.
them.
You wanna wait on
New
those?
ones.
So just get me those, those trucks. Shelley had mentioned that black truck that used to be at the park. Is it running?
No.
Okay, so there's.
Oh, well, yeah, we using that one right now until we get something else.
So
We
you
using,
don't wanna surplus that?
No,
Okay, alright, okay.
we actually using that one.
Okay, the
So I'll
way,
add the buses to this.
They wasn't using it, so we got it kinda back to running.
you'll
We
add
actually
Andy's,
drive.
you'll add Andy's to the list, just run it all at one time.
Yeah, just get that and mark it with that.
We have a motion to proceed forward with that on the surplus list. To
I'll make a
advertise
motion.
for sale.
I make a motion.
Second,
A second.
all in favor? Motion carries. 2023 T-Splosh Bank account.
Yeah, we'll have new T-Splosh money coming in, I think we figured the end of May. So I've gotta have a whole new bank account, it can't go in the same bank account as the 2019 T-Splosh, so we gotta have another one for this one to go into. It'll be the same kind of account, just it'll say 2023 T-Splosh instead of 2019 or whatever the other one was.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Motor grader lease, pages 32 through 38. The John Deere, did Cat come on down and pretty well match it?
Well, both of them resubmitted the bids, they're pretty much neck and neck. John Deere was the 49.85, and Cat basically said they would match it. That's about all they sent me. But the total of the machines are both still the same, it's just they refigured the monthly payments.
What is the payment now? I can't remember, 4,500?
The one that
43.9.
we're getting rid of,
Yeah.
it's gonna be 2,800.
One we're getting rid of, yeah.
Oh, that much different.
Yeah, so we're still going up, $2,900 roughly, or probably $2,000
So
for the
this
rate.
is gonna have to come out of T-Splosh, right?
Yeah, well, that's up to them, they gotta figure out where they wanna put it.
Well, we got the backhoe paid off yet, the Kubota?
It won't be paid off till June,
I think the last payment comes out in either the end of May or June.
I think, yeah.
That'll add $1,264. So we still not quite,
So we looking at how long it's gonna be before we take actual possession of the new one?
It's probably gonna be several more months. You know, either way, any way you go, it's gonna be probably September or later, I'd say.
Now we're looking at the one we're gonna be getting rid of, when we up with the warranty and everything else.
It's leaving, it'll be gone next week. Yeah, I actually got it in the shop, getting it prepared to leave here.
Don't crank it up when that warranty runs out.
No, we got, they always come, yeah. We done been down that road. They let us borrow it, said they'd let us borrow it right on, and that didn't work too good when something
Are they gonna
happened.
let you keep that one until the new one comes in? They gonna give you another one?
Ain't none of them do it.
So John Deere said they were gonna
They-
furnish
they-
us with
they all act like they
never
would
did
do.
do it.
So,
The last
so
time.
you gonna be down a motor grader until you get this other one in?
It'll be down
Yeah.
to two,
Won't be
just
running
like it
with
was last time. And the bad thing about that is you can't order them way ahead of time anyway, we actually got a little head start on this one compared to what we would have, but, the Cat's already ordered. And it's kind of been ordered a little while, so it should come in pretty
Y'all just
soon.
need to
Not,
decide which one
you know,
y'all,
none of them's coming tomorrow, that's for sure.
Decide
How long
which
will
one
we
we
be
want.
down with two?
yeah, decide which brand
What
y'all
was
want.
that, Joe?
How long will we be down just to two?
About September probably, till a new one comes. Which since this COVID stuff hit, that's pretty much where we've been. Every time we have to trade one, it just gets us down to two.
Right.
We're gonna run them two just as hard as they'll go every day.
What about, I'm gonna just ask a question, I ain't suggesting nothing. What if we bought the one
We looked at buying the one we got. That lady,
until the other one came in?
It's a $5,000 a month payment.
Until,
And you'd have to buy it, and then you'd have
what's
to turn around and,
what's the payment on it? I mean, what's the buyback on it, do you know?
it was 130, I think. I don't have my little book with me. I had it in that little book, we had it in there because we sat down and, I looked at about every option and, I was kind of wanting to maybe one day look at going back to what we was and have four, back to having four. And I think me and Jeff talked about it, that might be our way to,
So if you
Three.
bought that $130,000
I,
and you financed it for 6 years, at 6%, your monthly payment would be about $2,100.
it must be more than that, lady. I was thinking it was 130 something.
Well, the new buyout on the.
I know what it is.
$129,500, but if we bought this new
If
one.
you buy it,
It's
I
$129,500.
think the payment is 130, but then we looked at the option of adding warranty to it, to where it would have a warranty. That jumped it up to, I think it was like 25,000 for have a warranty for 3 years. And I was financing it for the 3 years that we had warranty too. Now, I didn't do 6, is what I was doing.
I just did it where you can get your payment down, cause I mean, you
Yeah.
can sell it in a year or two. I mean, you can sell it after
Yeah,
September.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying?
I looked at that, but I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to keep it without a warranty on it.
Oh, I know that.
And, the
but I'm
warranty
just-
jumped it up another $25,000 to have it like it is now. That's the truck. And you're gonna have some things that's not under this warranty too. Your drivetrain will be, but then air
Can
conditioning.
you find that out like concrete numbers and let him
Well,
text us?
I think I got them, already. I just don't have them with me tonight, but I got the numbers on the warranty and buyback. I do have that. I just don't have it in my hand.
Mhm. It'd be good to have it at the meeting where we were trying to
Well,
make a
we
decision.
was kinda talked about, we was gonna
Well,
let it go.
I didn't know you
let
weren't
it
gonna
go.
have one for 4 months.
Yeah, well, maybe longer than 4 months.
Well, I
You know what I'm saying? But I'd like to buy it and keep it, cause then when you need it for, we got a lot of
I don't know,
roads.
but I wasn't going that far now. I was talking about trying to keep you one until.
I understand that, but, I'm looking at getting back to maintaining the roads a little better too, but I understand the money too. That's why we didn't,
Well, I
that's
think
why we went back to 3, was, our money.
I'd like to see all that before I really made a decision on what we did, because, I know we got to buy something else, but, if we could keep that motor grader with some warranty,
We can keep it, well, that,
well, and then we could sell it,
and
when we get the other one in.
if we keep it, we're gonna be
You
paying.
can always trade it in on the.
It won't change that.
Yeah, it's,
It's not gonna
sounds
change
like
the
they're pretty
deal.
sought after, so it's not like it's gonna devalue, and especially if it's got warranty on it, you'll be able to get rid of it in September, October.
You said the warranty runs out next week? Or is it?
I gotta have it gone before the 22nd. It needs to be on the truck the 21st and out of here.
So you got 10 days.
Yeah.
Today's the 10th, 12 days.
But I looked at that option and got all the numbers up on it, but,
We'll just give them to Doug and he can send
We
them to
kinda-
us and we can kinda,
we kinda just
see
said
where
we
I'm going
don't
with this,
wanna
right?
buy a new one.
I ain't acting crazy, am I?
Well, we can just table it till we get all the information in. And then
Well, I think we still need to decide on this though, don't we?
Yeah, you need to make sure we got that, cause that needs to,
All right, what's your preference, Caterpillar or John
I'd
Deere?
rather stay with the Cat myself. I get real good service out of them, and everybody that you get wanting to come to work for you, that's the first question they ask, what am I gonna be driving? Especially if it's a motor grader guy. Don't nobody wanna drive John Deere. And there's no price difference in them, we get real good service out of what we've been running.
We've already had trouble with warranty on John
And
Deere.
all our guys are the guys that, you know, my extra guy and my guys are trained to drive the Cat. And when you got a Cat broke down and, you know, you need to move over to a Nud, and they really need to have them all the same, they need to stay the same. And but the service I get, far as, just like what we talking about right now, where you got one sitting there 2 or 3 days and it goes back to running, or you got one sitting there 2 or 3 weeks and it goes back to running. I mean, there's a lot of difference in that right there.
My recommendation would be to go with the Cat. Do we have a motion to stay with the Cat and move forward?
Cat's $30,000 more, right? 20, how much is that, Nikki? Do the math on that.
Yeah, it's almost 30,000.
20,
And they,
But
25, 22,000? What is that?
let's see.
28,000? Miller County math over here says
That's right.
28,
That's right.
28,600.
Yep.
I said 30, but I knew it wasn't 30, but I was rounding.
So if they match the monthly quote as John Deere here,
Yeah, that's what they told me. Now, whether they do it or not, I mean, that's the reason I included the email in there.
But the quote did say they would match it.
Well, the email did,
Yeah.
monthly payment, not the total.
Not the
that's,
Right.
that, they told us all the same thing, you know, they do exact that, but then there wasn't but $144 difference in the payment. I think, you know, either way. But they said they'd match it.
so does that mean they'd match the total price of it? So they'd come down
No,
28,000?
monthly payment.
So at the end of the,
Okay.
so at the end of
So
the
we're
lease,
still
you're
gonna
gonna
be
own
paying.
$28,000 more
Gotcha.
than this one, yeah.
That's what my
So when you
question
go to trade
was.
it in at the end of this lease, you're gonna owe $28,000 more on the Cat
Mhm.
than the John Deere.
Well, I say keep in mind, they've already had trouble with the John Deere getting to come down and work on it in a timely manner.
Well, I have trouble with both of them, want it real good on it, so. I don't know. What y'all think?
My thing is if it's broke, no matter which one it is, getting it back running, and when you can go back to running in a day or two, or go back to running in a week or two, is two different things.
This is the exact same machine though, the Cat and the Deere thought.
Yeah, there's not a lot of difference as far as the different, they both got different sizes, and these are the two
These are
sizes that are
compatible,
compatible, yeah, they're the same. Her next one down, it won't handle a ditching blade, and the next one up's a monster, you know, I mean, this is kind of middle of the road on either one of them. It doesn't really matter
What y'all wanna do?
about the horse, you know, I mean, they're both close to the same horsepower, do about the same, they do the same job.
You talking the Cat versus the Deere, I mean. But the main reason you want to go with the Cat is because it's more user friendly.
But now, Jeff,
The main reason you want to go with the Cat is because it's more user friendly.
it's user friendly, and the service you get, I mean, we get great service, I mean, we have for years. When you've been seeing the same mechanics for 20 years, you pretty much figure when he comes to work on it, he's gonna get it running. Then the other one is, you know, it's somebody different every time. You don't never know who's coming to work on it. I mean, they don't, right now, you know, they in a transition too, swapping over companies, and they may, I don't know, they may get a handle on things, but our past history is we get a lot better service, and what we do counts. You get that machine broke down, it needs to go back up and running pretty quick. Cause we limited on motor graders, I mean, that's the biggest thing we got is our motor graders. They run every day, you know, and to keep folks where they can ride up and down them at least without being so rough. So, and it's rough when you're down to two. I agree with Layden, which we've been through it before, you know, we've been down to two before.
But either way, we gotta make a decision when we go and get our,
On the new one, I would, I mean, I'd make a decision, then if you know, wanna do what Layden said, I agree with him, I looked at that option, but I didn't look at financing it as long as Layden. I did it for the same amount of time that I'd have warranty on it. But I agreed with him,
Let me ask a question, if you did that, you know, we talked about this, keeping that motor grader and applying for a USDA grant to get the $50,000, if we can, that would take that buyout down, and then you could take that money, if you didn't get a new one, you take that money, put it in an account. If it did break down, you'd have a savings account built up that you could pay from.
Instead of getting them.
And that way it'd give him time to build up, because you're looking at a, what, $4,900 payment versus, what did you say the finance would be?
2,100, I think.
So that's almost half, you'd be.
But I don't know what
putting in
the,
account
I don't know
as-
what the warranty would be.
it's about 25,000, so you adding, it was between 140 and 150,000, you know, when you added the
By the time
warranty.
you add that warranty back to it. you
Well, I'd like to
got
see exactly what that warranty was gonna be though.
But a warranty only covers your drivetrain, that's not gonna cover your sensors, wear parts. It basically only, you know, fix the motor if it blows up, fix the transmission, fix the drivetrain, that's about all the warranty's gonna do. Your air conditioner, your computers, I mean, all your side stuff not gonna be covered under that, the warranty we can get if we buy it. You don't get the same warranty buying it as you would, you know, on this lease program.
Well, no, I mean, I get all that, I know how much money you got to play with and you buy this right here, you going over.
And that's up to y'all buying, you know, buying the motor grader, up to y'all, I mean, I just looked at keeping it on the lease, cause I know I can't afford to own it and have to keep it running, you know. Cause it's done got too expensive to own one. Trying to keep it, all this electronic stuff, and then, you know, we got probably 7,000-8,000 hours on it too. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want it unless I had, you know, unless I added some kind of warranty on the big parts. And you still gonna spend a little money on the other stuff, you know, to keep it running, but I'm like you, 4 or 5 months without one, you know, it hurts. But, you know, we made it through it, we made it through it the last time. And we've been down with one, you know, we've had motor issues in the past, you know, I mean, we've had things that happen.
Randy, would there be any chance of leasing this machine we got now till the other one comes in?
They didn't offer me a lease on it, you know, I kinda asked about that, but they was more, you know, need to get bought out of it. You know, either we need to buy it or trade it in one, you know. But definitely, you know, need to make up our mind what we're gonna do about a new one either way, you know, 'cause we need one coming. You know, it needs to be, need to put our name in the pot. Cause every day that it's not in the pot, that puts you further down the road, then you'll be looking at December or January.
But you'll also be accumulating more in your splosh account by not having that road grader, correct? Until you do get it in, you'll be accumulating more money in your splosh account.
Yeah,
How much did you figure a while ago it'd be more a month if we do purchase it than what we do?
you'll be
now?
close if you do 150,
A
you know,
month,
145,
It'd be
150.
2154.
more.
That's if we get the $50,000 grant.
That's without,
Yeah, you buy
that's
and
not
use
with the
That's
$50,000
without
That's
grant.
not with the
That's
grant.
at I'm just figuring $130,000 with no down payment at 6 years at 6% interest is what I was figuring.
It's about between 5% and 7% in the rates are right
And
now.
you'd have to, yeah,
I shot the
we'll
other
see
one.
if they would do it.
But like Doug said, the grant will
6
buy
years,
used
yeah, they
equipment,
probably-
you
yeah.
can run it through the grant.
At
And that would be
7% you'd be
$50,000 on it.
$2,200.
So that's still $2,700
Then if you
cheaper.
took the 50,000 off.
I know we had talked about selling, excuse me,
Won't put
paying off the
50,000
side on
on it, I
it
can do
Yeah,
that. right
limb
now.
cutter.
use it,
Now, I
I
did
got
have
a
to.
and maybe that would
Yeah.
offset the 2154 per
If you take
month.
that $50,000 grant on it, it'll take your payment down to $1,351. If you put $50,000 down.
What figure was that?
Put it in our account.
If you put $50,000, that grant, if you
Yeah,
got that $50,000 grant, that would take it down to 13, and then
Right.
I just need to know exactly what that warranty is.
Hey, Doug, have one of y'all got the book that I gave y'all, the little book?
The green one?
Yeah,
I'll say I
it
got
should, yeah. I'm thinking it's in that book.
What I'm saying is if it did 3-year warranty.
The little book
finance
that I made
was
for
6 years,
them, that with all
you know,
the
Yeah,
stuff
what
in
Two
it.
and a half years
Yeah,
on your
that's right.
interest, you know what I mean?
What in it
And
that you,
then
what are you
you
We
looking
was
at?
looking at
Bill
what
back
the
up.
That's right.
buyback was on this
Yeah.
old motor grader,
Oh, okay.
the one we got now.
Or-
I
or
thought-
think
got
it-
the
I
buyback
think
on
it's
that
in
that
limb
good.
cutter y'all told me to get.
Yeah, we were looking at doing that, buying the limb cutter, paying it off, you know, and.
And then you would have that per month.
I thought I put it in, if
To
I
put on
don't
the
have
motor
it in
grader.
that book, I got it, cause I don't know, I took some things out of the book when we
You
kinda
get
talked
$50,000
about
grant,
decided
that's
that we
what
wasn't
we're
gonna
about
buy it, we was gonna go with a new one. I don't know that I put it in the book or not. I think I might've just
What was the
put
payment
two
on the mower
quotes
a
in,
month?
but I got it.
Andy, what would the payment on that limb cutter a month?
Payment on the limb cutter is $2,500 a month, right?
So that's what you'd be,
And we owe unless we've made a payment, we owe 105. If we made the payment, we owe 102.
On the limb cutter, I
Keeping it on.
Nice. So,
And that's what we was talking about, running it through the great, before Layden come up with the other $50,000. We was looking at
I can go get.
buying the limb cutter that we got with the grant. And that would be, we'd have to put $50,000 in it, but it'd be bought, that would take the 2,500 out of a payment to where the motor grader would fit in splash money to pay for it, is what we had kinda
it would just
discussed.
take the place of the motor grader payment.
Yeah, that would take
That is-
$2,500 off your payments, and that would offset the new motor grader going in T-Splash. And you'd save, by the grant, you'd be saving $50,000 on the limb cutter, you just got to pay the other $55,000, But
But
you
if you
say,
paid for it, then that'll free up extra
it'll
money.
be paid
in
for in
squad.
'06, if we keep making payments, but if you run it through the grant, you'll save $50,000 by getting the grant money, but you still got to come up with $55,000 to finish paying it off. But it would clear up the payments in the T-Splosh to be able to put the $5,000 motor grader payment in there. But the Caterpillar motor grader, they've got some motor graders ordered, and if we put our name in the pot, these motor graders have been ordered for a while. I'm hoping that one of them would kinda catch the boat, And that John Deere, when we bought it, we went about 3 extra months from what they told us when we bought it. They said it'd be here and then, it was 3 extra months before we got it.
Yeah, they were gonna loan us one in the
Yeah, they was gonna
meantime.
loan us one.
$105,000 to pay off the limb cutter.
Do what?
$5,881.
Yeah, 105,000, it's 105,000 pounds of limb cutter.
The only thing I wanna say, if I could, and Andy knows about this, I don't know if you guys know about it, I think I told you. When we traded that cat in, they come up with a $17,000 bill for mismatched tires, and I refused to pay it, I haven't paid it. It was like just like if they busted a light, it was $2,000-3,000. I mean, it's like they were trying to get at us because we bought a John Deere, so I wouldn't pay it. So that's still hanging over. They haven't said anything about it, so we just need to negotiate that to be gone if we do go cat.
Well, we're gonna have the same thing on either one of them. They've all changed their lease programs in what we were used to in the past. John Deere's done it in
I
Cats
mean, you
done it.
remember what was, they said that the
That was
tire
the first one they've ever done me that way, was when I turned it back in. I carried it all in and turned it back in normal condition for what we run it. Well, they come up with, like Doug said, you know, this and this and this.
I mean, like, they were
Well-
even doing tire wear, they were charging us $2,000 and
Yeah,
$3,000 a tire.
They all doing it now. They sent a guy to inspect this one that we got now that we turning back in. They didn't turn it in today, but supposedly by tomorrow, we'll have a list of things that we got to work on, fix, whatever, before we turn it back in. John Deere's doing the same. I mean, they're all doing it on lease program now. They've all changed their program. Hadn't done it in the past until this last one we turned back in. If we'd have known that when we turned it back in, some of it, we'd have went over. But this one, I know the guy he's already came and made his list, and we talked to him today, and he was working on finishing his list up, and they said by tomorrow morning, we'd have the list of things that they wanted looked at, fixed, repaired, whatever, before we turn it back in.
Well, will they tell you the price, how much it's gonna cost?
They'll tell their price, what they'll charge to do it, but then you take a light,
Yeah.
one of the little plastic lights on the front, you buy it from Caterpillar, it's $400. You buy it offline, it's $100.
But if you fix that and turn it in, we're not gonna get a
No,
$700.
everything that we fix and turn it in, you know, it's no charge for. The only thing now I don't know what's gonna be on the guy's list. The only thing I know on this motor grader that I feel is the most major thing is when we got the motor graders new, they had new Rome ditching blades on the back of them. They changed the motor grader style. They changed the way they mounted to the motor grader. When you would be pulling the ditch up, the tail of that ditching blade was pretty much dragging the ground. Well, if you was pulling grass out, it would put a wad in the road, and then if you backed up, what it would do was it would push on the back of that motor grader, because that piece is on the back on the ground. Well, it got where it would go past its breaking point. When you went to pick it up with the cylinder, it'd get up to where it's supposed to stop. It'd go by that, and it'd just go back into the back of the machine. Well, we got them down here, and it wasn't Cat's fault. It really Rome's. None of them would make it good. What I did to our two is I welded stops down in there where it wouldn't never come back up and hit it no more. And now Rome has a big giant stop back there on their machine to where when it comes up, it stops it. It won't get back into the machine. But we wound up with two that the tail of them were the radiator and all. It's it's fiberglass back there. It's a door that damaged it. And we're going to have to, if we can get the skin, it's kind of like a skin. We'll get the skin and we'll put it back on. That's the most major thing I saw on the motor grader. But wasn't nothing we could do about it when it happened. It happened when they were new. But we don't have that problem now because Rome eventually got enough of them complaining about it that they stopped.
So we don't know what it would cost the one that we have now to lease it with a warranty, meaning it's gonna be out. We don't know. I guess that's the unknown that we need to find out.
Well, we know what the buyback is. I
Well,
don't know that they'd offer it to us as a lease, you know.
I was somebody to lease if we paid the limb cutter off.
Do what, Jim?
I was just saying if we leased it back from them, if they would allow us to, if we.
Oh, I don't know. I can ask them if they'd lease it back to us, you know, for a few months.
If we were considering, paying the limb cutter off, I was just thinking that would turn loose of $2,500 a month at that point to do something.
I mean, they rent. I don't think they'd lease it for that shorter term is what the deal is. I don't think the lease would go for shorter term. Now, they might rent you one, but, rent on something like that's gonna be very expensive per month. I don't know exactly what it would be.
Is it under warranty when they rented it to somebody?
Now, it's about like, you get it, and if you have to take out insurance on it if you want it. You have to pay extra and take out insurance on it. You pay extra for it. You can go rent it and not pay the insurance and run it, hope nothing happens to it. Or you can go rent it and pay for the insurance, and if something happens, the insurance pays for it.
More than likely something will happen if you don't do it.
I wouldn't put nothing that big out there without some kind of coverage on it myself. I've seen too much happen to them after time. I mean,
Okay,
you think it's a perfect machine and it looks good, it runs good today. I've had one that I just got in it, drove into California, and I drove it, we had a bad storm, and we went out that morning, it was too wet, the sun was shining, I told him, boy, we're going out after dinner. He went and hit Henry Miller Road, and he almost made it to Thompson Town, dropped the valve in number 3 pistol. And I would have never dreamed that, I mean, that motor grader had always been an excellent machine. Just so happened it was the last day of warranty. It was the last day that it was really supposed to be here, because our warranty, when they deliver a machine, that's when we got it, but then by the time they work with the head office and get the financing done, sometimes that's 2 or 3 weeks later, and you kinda have to keep an eye on them two, the gap between them two. And luckily, that one was the last day of warranty, and they fixed it.
So we need to go ahead and decide whether we're gonna go with John Deere or Cat tonight on the new
If
one.
you wanna
right?
buy a new one, I'd go ahead and make up my mind, put my name in the pot and get one coming, and then we'll decide if y'all wanna ask them what they'll do about a lease. Or as Layden said, if you wanna look at buying that, you can always sell it. I mean, you can turn around and sell it. When you get, when you get the other one, or whenever you get ready to, you can turn around and sell the motor grader. But I'd put my name in the pot to be getting a new one coming, cause the longer we wait, the longer it is before we get one. But the two that we got's gonna run. We gonna run them. We run them today. We've been running them when it's a little bit wet. But just as, if it rains, soon as we get them back in the road, we putting them back. We kinda picking sandy roads, we moving around.
All right, I'm gonna say my concern on the new ones. I know you want to go with Cat. I personally don't know how to run these I don't know how to run this equipment. I don't know how they run. I am looking at the finance part of it. And even with the monthly payment being the same as John Deere, we're still at the end of the lease gonna have $28,000, almost $29,000 owed. I mean, that's gonna be the cost of this dump truck, plus the $12,000 truck we're about to buy, plus something else. I mean, and I'm trying to look at this as if this were my money that I'm spending from my home. And I mean, I'm voicing my opinion on it. But there again, I don't know how these pieces of equipment run. I'm just looking at the financial part of it. That's what I think.
With your buyback, I mean, I know it's on that piece of paper, but now that could change too at the end of your lease. If, it could actually be they not honor that because the financial part on their side, motor graders drop in value. Or if motor graders go up in value, that'll go up, that can fluctuate too with what they offer you. That's pretty much not a guaranteed thing right there too.
It's guaranteed you're gonna be $28,000 more on this one than that one, though.
I'm gonna run what y'all buy. My opinion is I'd rather go with the Cat, cause I know I'm gonna be able to keep it out there and keep it running.
What if Doug reaches out to Cat? It sounds like they still some negotiating on the stuff that's torn up or whatever it's paid for.
Yeah, that's 17,000.
Well, it ain't a decision we got to make the decision.
And that's what I'm saying, table it for tonight and let him
Right.
find out that from Cat.
More information about it and then we'll move forward.
And we'll put that
Sounds
figure
good.
with it, whatever he finds out.
And we compare the buyback figures, everything,
Right.
instead of just
That's right.
what your lease payments are. That's basically all we going by.
That's what I
lease
would do.
payments.
And it couldn't hurt if we want to table it to next month. I can get the Cat and John Deere, both of them in the room, and just let them duke it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if they want to sell and they got competition, sure, they gonna wiggle some.
Okay, y'all wanna table it then?
I say yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I would table it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna table this into more information next month, so. All right, next on the agenda, Sheriff's Office Vehicles, Finance of Vehicles, 39 through 42 pages.
So this is one of the grants, that we turned in, and the three banks that reached out, I reached out to several, these are only three banks that actually responded. And it looks to me that People's is the cheapest, instead of going 10 years, if you go 5 years, it's 5.25. The bank in Donaldsonville, which was that Alton Harrison, he was the closest to them, was 5.5. People's was 5.25, and then First State was 7.
Well, I suggest we go with the cheapest. Then we're not really talking about financing the big 10 year, cause 5 years they're gonna be wide.
You're putting it on there for 5 years, and then, when we get to 50,000, we'll pay out that balance and then refinance the balance of that, which would be about 60,000 maybe, I think. And then we would do it for whatever term we could do it. And then by then, the sheriff may have enough built up
Pay it off.
before those, he can just pay them off yet.
Okay, we have a motion to go with People South Bank.
So these are just quotes for the 5 years, not really that you can tie it down for 5 years, right? I mean, you're gonna tie it down per year,
That's tied down for a 5 year,
Right, yeah.
for the 5-year fix.
but it can only be per year, redone every year.
No.
It'd be
The only
like-
one-
it'd
the
be
only
like
one I
car
think
loan.
was,
It'd be
What if
5
you get
years.
new commissioners over here, I mean, how they gonna,
What you mean?
Well, he is right about
yeah, you
that,
can't,
cause like at first, at the bank up here,
you're talking about renewing it every
we
year.
have to
You
renew
have
it
to,
every
Yeah,
year.
it would
that's
be
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
fixed rate, but
Yeah, they'll
you
just
right.
renew it,
yeah,
yeah.
every year you'd have to redo it.
Yeah.
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 Like we do with the ones we got at First State.
Right. And so all these banks did it on the year renewal.
Yes. In fact, if you see, First State wouldn't even touch it for a 10-year period. But he said he could restructure it, but to me, People's is your best,
Well, that would be my recommendation, go with People Bank and do it, and then like I say, it's to be renewed every year. So we have a motion,
I'll make a motion.
we have a second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Jeff, you in favor? Motion carried. Dump truck trade, road department, Andy, you up again?
That's, y'all wanna get rid of the Mac, we can do it, and, you know, we was looking at the one they got over there, the truck they got. We had to put $10,000 with it, they give us the price of the Mac, and we give them the Mac $10,000, and we have, you know, a NUD like we got now.
And
It's a 2019, got 2 years, got about 2 years and some miles of warranty on it.
Andy, I had a question. One of the commissioners asked me about this 22,000. Is that part of this 70,000? Okay, so it
Yeah,
is.
the truck was 49, I think,
Okay,
and
so
the
that
bed's
makes it, okay.
20 something.
But
The
bottom line, we gotta put 10,000 with it.
Yeah, $10,500, something like that. I don't know the dead up exact numbers, but
It's 10.5.
yeah, we give them the Mac $10,000 or whatever the few pennies are. And this truck will be like the new one we got, except it's a 2019.
They got roughly a 2-year warranty left on it.
Yeah.
This truck's still
But the
a low.
miles left on the warranty and the years left on the warranty, we'll run it about 2, we don't put that, you know, the miles that we put on a dump truck, we'll run it 2 years.
Well, now it says here 2 years or 300,000 miles, and it's got 271 on it.
Right, but we
We
don't
got about
put, we put
30,000
about
miles
10, 11,000 a year on one, so we'll pretty much get the 2 years. We'll pretty much get the 2 years of warranty,
And this one does not require CDL
don't
license.
require CDLs.
What's so hard about getting CDLs? Why come you can't get nobody to get a CDL?
They don't know, they wanna drive a truck, the CDL guy wants to drive a truck.
None of our guys have any interest in getting them.
Nah. And we ain't had a CDL driver in
Since ours.
years.
You could get them.
I can't pass physical. They won't give me, I can't fly airplane, can't scuba dive, can't drive a truck. Can't pass physical for nothing, my heart.
Do you think this would be an incentive for any of our employees that we do have to get?
You know, some of them I would wanna go, but
Yeah.
none of them,
Have you asked any of them?
we've talked about it in the past, but then never by the time you put the money in sending them, you gotta go take tests now. I mean, you gotta go to school. You gotta pay for them to go to school.
But keep in mind, this Mack truck does have some ghost in it.
Yeah.
You don't never know what's gonna run, or it's gonna put you downside the road. It just,
The one we have now.
yeah, that don't. that
And
Mack
I done
truck-
got past CDLs. I pulled the excavator with a tractor. I built me a hitch, went on, I done got way past worrying with CDL. My problem is we don't drive dump trucks every day. And then you take a guy that he wants $20 an hour to drive a dump truck, but then you take him and you're not driving truck day, you're going to put in pipe. He don't wanna get out there and put in pipe. And they may stay a few days and then they're gone, you know?
Yeah, they was a CDL driver approached me
And
about 2
these
years
trucks
ago.
that we talking about, this new one we got and this other one right here, they don't require CDLs to run them up and down the road. But if we had to go back to pulling something, these trucks will pull the excavator, but then you just have to go back to having a CDL licensed driver because you get over the weight limit that, when you hook the trailer to it, it brings on a whole new ballgame.
That driver told me he wasn't gonna
But
do nothing but
I hadn't
drive
had
a truck.
be honest,
Anything else.
I really hadn't had a CDL driver in a long time that drove a dump truck, for many years. The guy that drove one of my motor graders had CDLs, but he didn't wanna be a dump truck driver. We'd hook the truck, or most of the time, truck stayed hooked to the trailer with the excavator behind it. We needed to move the excavator, he'd go move it and then go back to the motor grader. We never have really run it. It does good on highways, but it's not very good on dirt roads, cause it's you loaded, and you have to find a big spot and turn it around, and, the big dump truck doesn't work well on dirt roads. It works great on the highway, and
Do you have a Pinto hitch trailer?
that's what ours are, is all pintle hookups. Every trailer we got except the goosenecks, except the little car trailer, all our big trailers are pintle hookups.
So would this truck be used to haul anything?
Not unless we hook to the excavator, basically. I mean, we can pull the little backhoe, if something happens, the service truck's broke
Are you
down.
gonna pull the excavator with it?
Not unless we get a CDL driver.
You don't need a pedal hitch on it then?
Well, you may have to hook one of the smaller trailers to it, if something breaks down, we can hook the small trailer to it. I don't have to have it. I usually just put them on there just in case.
Just ask some questions.
Cause like I said, these trucks will pull pull the excavator around,
But you ain't got nobody to drive it if
but
you
we
do
don't
it.
have nobody to drive it.
So you don't need it.
Somebody might come along.
You talking about from Pendleton to pull or something?
Well, when it gets over 26 and a half,
Right, that's
he
right.
ain't got nobody that can drive
Yeah,
it.
when,
Well,
anything
we
at
could if we had a
26,000
CDL.
pounds.
We could if we had a CDL driver.
Well, maybe we could ask some of our employers, would they be interested in doing it?
The thing you can do there is like we do with EMS, so that you make sure they don't leave you when we pay for that, you make them sign a contract.
Yeah,
And if they leave before that contract, they gotta pay you back every penny.
Right.
I like it.
And that's a good idea.
I like
yeah,
it.
but that's just something that wasn't on the table till today. I mean, they didn't want to pay to go. We couldn't get it past the board to get nobody.
I think
Well, I
we-
wanna do it.
I think we would be in favor of it if we signed the contract.
Oh, yeah.
We would
Or
pay
they
for
had
the
to pay it
training
back.
and work with us so many years, or they had to pay us back.
Yeah, and I've never had it brought to me before about paying for somebody to get their
We have a lot
CDL,
of
so-
regulations, where Jeff knows that, on weight and ways we do things, and just, there's a lot of difference in things. You put a sticker on the side of the door, it labels that vehicle as something else, and you can have to have a different driver's license to drive that truck to pull this trailer. Where, like Layton and them, I guess it's still the same way. You can go out there,
It's no different for us than it is for you.
you
It's no
have to have a
different. It's no
CDL guy.
different. It's no different for us than it is for you.
I thought they had that farm thing where you could list your semis under the farm program and go 200 miles,
I can with a Class A license,
huh?
with a Class A license.
I thought it was a little different than that, but, we've not been able to keep one because our pay, pay is a big thing on the
But I
CDL
mean,
driver.
I might pay somebody a little bit more if I had a CDL.
Well, that's what I was saying, a while ago, yeah.
I mean, we pay
Especially
them,
if they could sign a contract saying they wouldn't leave us.
yeah.
But, I mean, just pulling somebody off the street,
You
You know,
probably
right
got,
now,
you probably got
somebody
you
you
got
got
two or
now.
three
Yeah.
guys that
Yeah.
would probably do that.
they might would, you know, I mean, it was never something we could offer them before,
Let's
cause
offer that to them and that'll be
we
an
discussed
incentive.
this
Yeah, let's offer it to
on
them and see.
back, but
And then we get used to the penalty hits, cause we can pull the excavator down the road.
Faster than 20 miles an hour.
Okay, what's y'all's feelings on the dump truck deal?
So we are definitely sure that we can do the contract if they do decide.
We do it with EMS.
Yeah.
I mean, the truck I got now not doing me any good.
If we get somebody with a CDL, it'd be doing you some good.
Nah, well, you're gonna spend some more money on it.
Yeah,
You're probably gonna spend
I'm
more
finna
than I'm
spend
truck.
10, I'm finna spend 10 on this other truck.
Yeah, but I know I can drive this. That other one, I ain't been able to drive it. And it's been like that for 20 years, guys come and go. And if you beat somebody down on a contract, you might get them to stay, but
But then keep
a
in
lot of
mind,
people not gonna come in and sign a contract for, you know, they gonna want real money to sign that contract too.
keep in mind, they don't know what's wrong with the truck, correct?
No, we done had the truck at several different places trying to get it seen about, and it's got some problems.
What kind of estimate? You said it'd be about 10 grand or so to fix it.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, we done spent a good bit of money on it, and, I mean, nobody's been able to figure out where that glitch is.
Where have you taken it to? Where have you taken it to?
I can't remember the name of them. There's two places in Bainbridge and one in Quincy that works on semis.
But you hadn't taken it to Kaufman?
No, I hadn't took it to them. I mean, it's a Mac. We've taken it
It's
to
a
the
Mac.
Mac place.
It's a Mack truck.
Yeah, we took it to the Mac place and it worked a little while and then it didn't work and we carried it to two places in Bainbridge down there and then we carried it to Quincy to a guy that he got a big time shop down there that works on, he's worked on a lot of our other trucks that was no problem getting them running, but this one right here, it's just got a ghost in it, and I mean, you know what that means. I mean, you could spend a fortune on it and never find it. And you go through and redo the whole wiring harness, the computers, everything on it, and you never find what's wrong with it, and you'd be spending a fortune on it. But my thing is it's just sat there, and I've never been able to keep us with what we paid in the past. I've never been able to keep a CDL driver on the payroll. And the only thing I have to have a CDL guy for is to move my excavator. That's it. I don't have to have CDLs for nothing else unless I get out there and wanna move my excavator. And like I said, I done got way past that. I done been moving it with the tractor for years. So, I mean, I'm not gonna get hung up on the CDL driver thing. Cause that truck right there hauls 14 yards. That big one don't haul but 18. I'm hauling one bucket less dirt, one scoop out of the back with the big loader. I'm hauling one scoop of dirt every time less. And I know the truck's running every day where that's sitting under the shelter parked. And we don't use it on dirt roads much because when we're working on dirt roads, it's so aggravating. You spend more time trying to get it out of the bog, get it turned around because it takes a big room to turn that big truck around. These little trucks
What
right
year is that dump truck?
The one that we was looking at is 2019.
Well, what's the one that you have?
It's 06, I think.
What, the Mac?
Yeah, the Mac's 06.
Do you know how many
mean,
miles it has on it?
It's definitely up to y'all, but it's pretty much always been an aggravation to me. I know I can run these trucks, and hauling dirt is a big thing for us.
So you saying this truck is a big shop bill all the time, maybe? I know it's got an electrical problem or something in it.
That's something, Jeff, I mean, nobody's found out. I've been through the fuel system. I can do the fuel system. I've been through the fuel system, top to bottom, head to toe, 20
I didn't know if there was any
times.
more issues, if we paid
And-
$10,000 and something else popped up, which I know that can happen with any used equipment.
I mean, that is too, it's a 06.
Yeah.
Got, I don't remember how, it's been run. But it, you know, it's something that I don't see us getting a lot more use out of it. And yes, if y'all wanna do the CDL thing, that's something that,
We don't need to do the CDL thing if you're gonna get rid of this truck, cause you ain't gonna
I
need
mean,
no.
I don't see it myself. I done got past it now. I mean, yeah, in the future, it would be nice to go back to doing a little different, but right now, my best option is to haul dirt. I can get my excavator across the county. It may take me 15 minutes longer to get there with it, pulling it with the tractor versus pulling it with the truck, but once I get it there and drop it off, if them dump trucks is coming, I get to work, where if the dump trucks is not coming, I'm sitting there waiting on the couple I got running to come.
How many trucks do we have running now?
I'm running 4 right
Four.
now,
So it's
and
still,
2 of them's on the critical list.
right,
I mean, we work on them every day to keep them running. We back out there on the avenue is where we at.
Yeah, that Chevrolet, the front end will slam out, I
I
mean,
mean, the truck, we got
that's
2
one of the
trucks.
four that we're
that-
running.
yeah, it's had it.
The old blue one's even older than that. It's I guess a 03. Or maybe I can't remember what age of it is.
But you still gonna run the one you talking about, Mr. Allen?
Oh,
We still gonna run the blue one that you
Yeah,
talking
we're gonna
about? We
try
just
to
gonna
keep
add this
running
to
the
the
blue
fleet?
one.
yeah.
Get rid of
well,
those.
he
You gonna get rid of
take it-
one,
he
you gonna get rid of the old blue one?
No, the white one, the little white one's
He
one the
gonna
motor's
take it
bad
out.
in.
Out of
You gonna
service,
surplus it?
Right.
yeah.
I wish the blue one was the white one, but it didn't work out that way.
I mean,
Yeah, he gonna
I've
surplus
run
the
these trucks a
Chevrolet.
long
so
time.
Wow, he gonna surplus.
And they've hauled a mini load of dirt, and right now we got on the book, we doing this job in Jefferson District. We collecting up dirt, we moving to, Griffin Sherfield, we got 3 sections of road there that's got to be built up 4 or 5 foot. We got 2 ditches, we got one in Jefferson District, we got one on Phillipsburg, and one in Grimsley Road, that the ditches has gotta be cleaned out just like we're doing now. Then we got to move, and we're gonna have to fix Glass Road and Newberry Chambers Road, we're gonna have to dig them pipes up, fix them pipes. I mean, all that consists in dirt hauling. I mean, dirt hauling and motor grading is our 2 biggest things.
You should be able to recoup, I would say, at least half of the 10.5 with the old truck. I would think it would bring it with it.
Like today, we went hauling, we try not to haul too far. We try to find us some dirt pretty centrally located, you know, where we at. And we dig it side the dirt road, or we may have to dig some and stockpile it, cause we can't work 2 places at one time. But we try to put that dirt to where we don't haul far at the time, but we was hauling from Avenue Road right at Babcock to the landfill today. And by the time I'd get one truck, if I ever get them scattered out, running 4 trucks, by the time I'd get one truck, you know, loaded, the next truck would be making, you know, it kinda keeps us busy all day, running 4 trucks. And we move a good bit of dirt to it.
if any of these other trucks are on this last leg, if you wanna call it that, he mentioned the blue one was about to break down. I mean, I'm in favor of doing this, but I also would like, maybe let's see if these employees would take an initiative and.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Sign it.
I'd love to have a CDL driver and not have to move the excavator with a tractor, but I've been there almost 20 years and we've not kept one. And when this guy walks in today and he quits, and your excavator is sitting out there side the road somewhere and you get
He's gonna have
stranded.
incentive not to quit though, cause he's gonna have to
The
pay us
only
back so
Y'all
much
got to do
money.
that, Layden, and it had $10 an hour,
Yeah, but we talked
hasn't
about
been
that.
an
Well,
incentive
the only
to
issue
keep
our only question I
CDL
got
driver.
is, what is the legality of pulling that excavator with a tractor?
Oh,
On our
I can
insurance.
pull it.
But on
it's
our
legal.
insurance, on our county insurance. Cause if something happens and, that, we need to check on that.
I,
and make
I would
sure.
probably check on that. I would say table this until we find out if
I
we
just
need
wanna
to
make
keep
sure
doing
that's-
that.
And then another thing is, you know how I am about people. If the people watching this Facebook, let's say Kaufman's watching it, now they know that that white dump truck's got problems.
Yeah.
Are they gonna give us that money?
And our road superintendent has already said that he don't put stickers on there cause he ain't got CDL drivers.
Which stickers?
He don't
No,
put
we
stickers.
just try to stay
I just don't want us to.
off
if
the
we ever have
radar,
to buy again
you know.
and. I
But
mean,
you ain't
we
off
may
the
not
radar
get
no
a
more,
deal.
cause this,
No,
mean,
I don't really have a
it-
problem, I mean, the only thing I get me for is be overloaded, you know, overweight.
But
I mean,
keep in
Well, they
mind,
gonna
this
get us-
guy
they
with
gonna
the
get us.
international,
They
he
gonna
No,
not
get
gonna
they
hold
get me,
it.
they get me for
yeah,
they
well, they
get
gonna
y'all.
get, they gonna get the county.
The
But,
guy with the dump truck we're talking about, he not gonna hold it forever. He's.
I got my
I know
stuff
that, but I'm saying,
derated
is he gonna
down.
care if we give him a truck that ain't running right?
What?
And if, you know, that white truck, we say there's problems, if we give him a truck, he finds out there's not right, is that gonna hurt us?
Has he looked at this
Trucks
truck
in
and
the
he
past?
knows?
Yeah,
In the future.
he come and looked
So
at
he
the truck.
knows all about it.
the
Yeah, he
clutch-
knows all about the Mack truck.
He knows that the clutch is bad, you know, we talked about the fuel
As long as he
problem.
knows it all
And we
that.
think it's a fuel problem, I mean,
Yeah.
truck may run, may not, you
I
know.
mean, that's on him if
The
he
guy's
wants
not
to.
totally
If he
in the
knows it.
dark.
If he knows it, then, we
Yeah,
good.
he
He's
get
not
it-
totally in
He
the
get
dark.
it as is.
Oh,
He's-
definitely, yeah.
He's already looking at putting a clutch in it, or either the clutch has got to be adjusted in it. I mean, the clutch is all the way to the top of the truck. I mean, the truck's 20 years old. I mean, the truck's
Yeah, he
not
ain't
a
never
new.
been hid from it, you know, he
No, I ain't.
knows
You know, I
everything
mean,
about it.
He done come and went over the truck himself.
Well, good
I
then.
mean,
Good deal, yeah.
and far as the weight, we try to stay in that legal limit. We just try to stay off of getting pulled over, is what we do.
Well, I
And the only thing we got that they bother us with is our gooseneck truck.
just keep in
And
mind,
we
this
looked
guy
at it,
ain't gonna hold it.
They might pull us over and check us.
Can I ask a question, and I don't want it to be stupid, but I need to ask it. So if there's something really terribly wrong that can't be fixed with the current dump truck that we have right now, why is he willing to give us $60,000 trade-in
That's
on
pretty much
that?
about what the truck's worth. You know, and they own a monster shop of mechanics
They
that,
fix it themselves.
they know these trucks head to toe, but they don't have to pay them $250 an hour to work on them where we do.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And the only thing I worry about mine is my gooseneck trailer because it is a 10-ton trailer. And it looks like a 10-ton trailer. And when the state patrol or the guys look at it, they look at it as a 10-ton trailer. But when they pull us over and check us, then they see that, hey, it's not a 10-ton trailer anymore because it was derated from the factory and it has the weight painted on it to where we right at the borderline of being legal or not legal to drive it. I mean, them numbers is right there. In fact, we can't hook it to a 3500 truck. The 350 is out. That's why I got that 2500 sitting there. I try to keep it in real good shape because that's what I have to move my excavator with. Cause I can't hook that gooseneck trailer to a 3500 truck. We're just that close. I mean, it's just close. It's all close, but this has been looked at for years. That's why I got that little tiny, them little backhoes. Because you can load them behind them trucks on trailers and we're legal. But anytime you put, which I don't care, we've always had stickers on the doors and things. Some of these old raggedy trucks, you know, we inherit, hadn't had stickers, but most of our dump trucks and things has got, the excavator, they got stickers on them. But then it just draws more attention when you got that gooseneck trailer behind certain ones that, hey, it's labeled and we're gonna stop. And they check us. They checked me and one of the other guys right in front of the Georgia State Patrol Station here a while back. They pulled us over as soon as we went by. They turned right there, pulled us over before we got to 91. You know, they checked us out. But we derated the trailer when it was brand new. Trailer is a 10-ton trailer, but it's derated down to where it'll go behind the truck. But I couldn't derate it anymore to be able to hook it to a 3500 pickup truck. If I hook it to a 3500, I'm illegal. So we pull it with a 2500. And we got my truck and the other truck that'll pull it. Well, let me rephrase that. We had my truck and the other truck, but I can't pull it with my truck now because I added the bed on the back of mine.
What you gonna do about
And
the
when
truck?
I added the bed on the back, it put mine over the weight limit.
I mean, if he's telling us that we got some ticking time bombs for $10,000 and move up
To a new truck.
to a new
Something he
truck,
can
have a
work
warranty
with.
with it, I'm in agreement with it. I mean,
Yeah,
I make a motion to do it.
You know, I
All right, you made a
I'm
motion
just
to do
saying
that.
that,
We have a second.
But I also, you
All
know,
in
I
favor?
think, did you just second?
Mhm.
All in favor? Motion carried.
you're right, but I do want, you know, the road department to see, you know, maybe I talk to them to see if they do want to take the initiative to get the CDL, and if we could lock
Oh,
somebody down.
yeah, I mean, it,
For the future, and then, cause if we ever
eventually,
get
the
rid
laws
of
is
these trucks,
gonna
we need a
keep
CDL truck
changing.
before
to
the
where-
excavator.
I'd love to have one available, but then again, the incentive comes from right there.
Yeah, next
I
on,
mean,
next,
that comes from
Well,
y'all.
you just gotta put it in your budget though, when we okay the budget.
I've had it in budget late, but it don't, you got to approve. I can do that, but it's got to get approved.
I haven't seen where you've done it and since I've been here.
I haven't either. Not on,
And we need to
not
make
since
a
I've
motion
been
to
here.
approve that, to sign a contract if it, or.
There's a
somebody-
reason
No,
for
I
that
mean,
too,
you can
but
do that.
anyway.
We did that with the
Oh,
EMS.
you did.
But it's been put in there before.
I'll work on the contract.
You probably haven't seen it, and there's a reason for it, but
okay,
that's
get
all,
back.
that's all
So let's get
behind.
the truck.
We got, next on the agenda, it says departments, anybody departments got anything to say? All right, next is executive session, we have any reason to go into
No.
executive session? All right, next is adjourn, we have a
I'll make a
motion to
motion.
adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Third.
Ah.
Motion carried, we are adjourned.